Hello everyone. So today we are going to perform data analysis by using Python language on the employee dataset. So to perform this, I already collected the sample data for the employee in the form of rows and columns, and we are going to perform our data analysis on that. So to perform the data analysis, we are using a Jupyter notebook, which is popular tool for Python interpretation. So let's move toward our next topic. So I'll show you. So I already export this Python file in the Jupyter notebook, and I have created one folder named as Python in my local system. So I'll just quickly show you. Also, I will show you the entire data and what analysis we are going to perform on that employee data set. So if you see, I have already created one Python folder here, and under that Python folder, we created one subfolder named as data analysis. So under this data analysis, we are having sample data of employee dataset and the Python file, which we already opened in our Jupyter notebook. So I'll just show you the data. So here, this is the sample data, which is having almost approximately 3000 rows. So here, if you see 3001 count, including the first row, and almost there are having some 50 columns. So where we are going to perform data. So this is our source file. We need to export this file in our code so that we can do this data analysis. So here, if you see, there are having two columns which consist of zero data. So as a part of data cleaning, we are going to remove these two columns as well as a part of this same data analysis. Also, you can see here some zero entries, that is null values. So this is also not required while we are doing the data analysis. So these two steps are, we are considering it as a data cleaning here. So we are going to remove this zero null values as well as these two not required columns. And then our next action will be performing the data analysis on the remaining data sets. We can say it as columns. Okay, so I'll just move towards the Jupyter notebook where I already written down all the codes line by line to just save the times so that we can look it one by one together. So here, if you see, we are using here four libraries. These are the most popular libraries in the Python. That is NumPy libraries, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. So as you already know that NumPy is used for the numerical operations, like that Seaborn and Matplot we are using for the visualization and creation of the data sets. So yeah, we are going to see one by one in our below codes. So first step is to we need to import these four libraries to start with our data analysis. So I already imported it. So you can see import. So this is the code for importing the libraries in the Python. So I already imported four libraries here: NumPy, Pandas, Matplot, and Seaborn as well. So I'll just make it as a read. So yeah, okay. The next line you can see here, df equals to pd.read underscore excel employee dot excel. So this code of line is used to read the data. That is, if you see, we have this Excel sheet. So we need to export this Excel sheet in our Jupyter notebook so that it will read the data for our next analysis. So this code is written down to read the entire source data. So just run this code, and next you can see df.shape. So df.shape is used to get the complete data. For example, we can say it as a x or y axis. So here x and y axis we can refer it as a columns and rows. So here, once we run this command or code of line, we are getting 3000 rows and 30 columns. So I already showed you from the Excel sheet that we are having 3000 entries for the rows and 30 entries for the columns. So this code of line is reading the data from the employee Excel data, and we are giving output as a 3000 rows and 30 columns. So in the next column, you can see specific details about the columns. Once you run this code, you'll see the details of the columns. So we are having almost employee ID, first name, last name, full name, skill set. So approximately 30 columns we are having here. So just focus on this one topic, org email. So in our next data analysis, we are going to change the name of this org email to the email. So we don't have to do this manually by going to the Excel sheet and then rename the columns. We can just type one code of line here, and then it will change the org email column name to only email. So like that, you can change any column name as per your requirement. Okay, the next step will be, so I already told you that we are having two columns, which is not required in our like Excel sheet. So as a part of data cleaning, we are going to delete or drop those two columns, that is bank account details and leave history. I can show you one more time from the Excel sheet by opening it. So if you see here, in the last, there are two entries, bank account details and leave history. So these two we don't require as a part of data analysis. So we are just going to drop these two columns so that it will not come in our output. Similarly, I already told you that. So we are going to remove these null values, which is not required as a part of. So we just need the data as a complete data. We should not have any null values. So again, I'm closing this Excel sheet, moving towards the code of line here. So so this df drop, so this drop command or code of line is used to delete this or drop these two columns, bank account details and leave history. So here you can see axis 1 and in place true. So here axis 1 is referred as a columns here. So and if you see somewhere, we will give it axis 0 as well. So that axis 0 will consist as a um, our rows, and axis 1 will refer it as the columns, and in place equals to true, so it is returning the true value here, so we are giving it as in place true. So let's move towards the next. So once you run this command or code of line and hit enter in your Jupyter notebook, or you can run it from here as well, it will run the same. So here if you see, we have run this code of line, and now if we are giving this df.shape code here again one more time, it is giving the output as 3000 rows and 28 columns. So previously, if you see above, before this command, so it was giving the 30 columns because it was having 13 columns including bank account details and leave history. Now when we did this data cleaning, or when we did the df.drop command, so it removes these two columns from our data, and it gives us the output as 3000 rows, 28 columns now, because two are already deleted. So let's move towards the next point. So in the next code of line, you can see pd.isNull df.sum. So this code of line will give you the output, as it will show you how many null values. So it will give you the sum of all null values from your Excel sheet. So here if you see, we are having employee ID 0. Here we don't have any null values, but in the first name we are having totally 10 entries which is having the null values. Then in the full name, skill set also. So we have to delete those null values. So as a part of data cleaning, we are going to do that. So here also we have to give the same command, that is df.drop na in place equals to true. So it will delete all the null values. So once you run this code, and again if you type this, you'll see the changes in output. Yeah, so here if you see above, in first name, last name, full name, skill set, we were having this many non null values. So here once you give this code, it becomes 0. It means all those whatever null values was there, all will be deleted now. So we are having the complete data without null values. So okay, let's move towards the new code of line. So here, if you see, I can run one more command here, df.columns. Okay, it should be columns. Yeah. So when we run the df.columns, it will give you the data or the details about the column. So here we are going to change the org email with the only email, or we are going to rename the column instead of doing it manually on the Excel sheet. So you can rename any columns or anything as per your requirement. So here just to show you, I'm going to rename this org email as a email only. So for that, I already written down this code of line df.rename columns equals to org email. This is the current one in our Excel sheet, and we are going to rename this column as a email only. Rest of the details are same as above. So once you run this code, uh, and again just run the same code here, df.columns, it will give you again the data. So see the changes in the output. Previously it was org email, and after we give this code of line, it changes from org email to the only email. Similarly, you can rename any column name by using this code of line. So next, similarly, if you want to change any data type from the existing one to the new one, we can also change it from here directly. So for example, here if you see for the salary columns, we are having the data type as a int 64. If someone want to change the data types from int to float, into decimal, int to strings, whatever as per the requirement, we can change it. So to change it, just give this code of line df salary, so it will read the data from salary, and it will change the data as from the int 64 to the float. So let's run this code. Again we are going to check the current data type of this salary. Previously it was int when we check here, but now when we change it to the from the int to the float, it should give us a different output. See, data type it as a float 64. Previously it was int 64. So with this code, we can change the data type from the existing to the current one. So till now, whatever changes we made it here. So if we want to see those changes, we can import a new Excel sheet. So whatever changes we did till now, it was in the source Excel sheet. So if you want to see the entire data after data cleaning, so we just have to give this code df.to underscore excel, and give the name of the Excel, new Excel, target Excel we can see here, as per whatever you can give. So here I'm giving updated employee data underscore new. So it will give me it will create a new Excel sheet under my download or Python folder, and it will give me a new data after all data cleaning. So I'm just going to hit this code now. Once you do that, just go to your Python folder. Here if you see, the new Excel file is created just now. So I'm just going to open it to show you. So here if you see, earlier we were having two columns at the last. So those two columns are deleted now. There are no data. Also, there were some entries with null entries. So those null entries also deleted now. So we consider this as our final sheet on which we are going to perform our data analysis. So that's all. I'll close this new sheet now, so that we can move towards our next type of data analysis. So okay, so again I'm going to give this df.shape to just show you the details. So this is our current entries data. Previously, if you see here, we were having 3000 rows and 30 columns. Now after data cleaning, we are having only 2989 rows and 28 columns because we deleted 2 columns and we have removed the null entries also. Okay, so now our main data analysis, we will also call it as exploratory data analysis, is started. So we are going to perform data analysis on single data, double data, or sometimes we can use 3 types of data parallelly so that we can get a different view. So we'll see one by one. So this is just a simple data analysis, starting from simple, then we make it some advanced level one by one. So if you just run this code, you will get the graph like this. So let me explain you the entire code, how it was written and what's the explanation of this. So first we have make this analysis on only gender count from our Excel sheet. So in our Excel sheet, if you see, if you open the source Excel, it was having the gender data here. So yeah, if you see, it consists of male females. So we are going to perform data analysis on only gender, how many males are there and how many females are there. So I'll just close this data of Excel sheet now. And how we started here. So if you can see, we written down here ax equals to sns dot count plot, x equals to gender, hue gender, data equals to df, palette pastel, and ligand equals to false. So here sns dot count plot. So it is used to create a bar chart where the height of each bar represents the count of records. And x equals to gender here. So it means our x-axis is showing us the attributes of female as well as male here. The next line you can see hue equals to gender. So this code hue, it shows colors, it colors the bars differently based on gender. And again here data equals to df, so it will use for read the data frame from our source file. Palette equals to pastel one, so it will use the soft colors to our bars. So if you see here this light blue and light orange color, so these are the soft colors. So how it got soft colors? By using this code palette equals to pastel. And again this ligand false, it will use to remove the ligand, otherwise it will repeat the male and female which is already on the x-axis. So that's why we have written down ligand equals to false. If it was true, it will just repeat the attributes in the male and female. So we are going to use this similar type of code in our below data analysis as well. So we'll just see this entire code in details. So just now we saw the first line. We'll see the second line now. So in the second line, for container in ax.containers, so ax.containers, it will gives access to the rectangles bars in the plots. Here you can see these rectangles bars, right? And the next line is ax.bar underscore label container. So it will add the count values on top of each bar. Example, if you see here 1677 and 1312, so it is giving the all some of the count of females and some of the count of male here. So this ax dot bar label container, so this will use to get the count at the top. Again below you see some different line of code, that is plt dot title. So this plt dot title is used to set the chart title. Plt dot x label, here gender and count, so it will show represent the x and y axis. If you see here, gender is in x-axis and on the y-axis plt y dot label, this is y-axis, it is showing the entire count. For example, some 16 from this 16,000, maybe it is above 16,000 because we are having the total entries at 2989, but here due to some limitations it is showing till 1600. But if you see here, it is showing 1677 because it goes beyond that as well. And the next line is plt.title layout. So it adjusts spacing so labels titles don't overlap. And last but not the least, plt.show. So it shows us the final display. So whatever the final output we are getting, so it will show the final output. So we are going to use the same type of code, only changing the attributes as per our requirement in our below advanced data analysis code. So let's move towards the new code of line now. So here you can analyze like from our total gender column, we were having some total entries. Example, so we were having 2988 total rows. From that 2989, we were having 1677 as a female and 1312 as a male. So without doing this manually in the Excel sheet, just writing the code in the Python language, we can do this analysis of gender. Similarly, in the next code of line, we are going to, so I'll just run this command for, so that you will have the visualization to understand. So here we are going to make a comparison of total salaries between male and female employees. So amongst the male and female, who is having total salaries? So it is already calculated by our above code, and it is giving us this visualization. So let's see this one by one again. Salary equals to gender. Here we write it as a group Y. So we are doing this on the gender column only. So that's why we write here as underscore index false salary equals to sum. Here we are doing the salary sum of all the salaries. That's why we are having the more number here. PLT figure size 6 by 4. You can set as per your requirement. If you do it here 5, so you will get a different type of visualizations or column here. So as per your requirement, you can just set it 6 by 4, 7 by 4, 8 by 4. So I'll make it as like a 5 by 4, 5 by 4. So here on the x-axis, it is having total gender male and female, and y-axis it is giving total salary. And if you see, the female is having more number of salaries in terms of male here, and because you can see the sum of salaries more here when we compare it to the males. And the rest of the data is again same as we discussed earlier for container in ax.containers and ax.bar label container. So, and this whatever plt.title comparison of total salaries between male and female employees. So here we gave it as a only gender count. So that's why if you see here, it is showing gender count as a title, and below the title is comparison of total salaries between male and female employees. Similarly, x-axis is showing as gender, y-axis is showing as total salary, and plt type layout, this will show you the complete setup of the layout, and last is plt.show. Let's move towards the next code of line again here. Here also we are getting the current employee rating. So all this data is located in our source location. So if I show you current employee rating, so if you just go to your employee source Excel sheet, here you can find the current employee rating somewhere. So let me find. Okay, here it's employee type. Okay, if I scroll to the right, yeah, somewhere it should be there. Classification, employee type. This is something. Okay, just check. Let me check it one more time. Gender. So if you see in the last year, here it's a current employee rating. Okay, so we are going to analyze how many employees having what type of ratings in the form of a bar graph chart. So when we run this code, ax equals to sns dot count plot, x equals to current employee rating, data equals to df. So it is reading all the data from the our source file. So by running this code offline, you can see on the x-axis it's a current employee rating and y-axis it's a count. So for example, we are having from the 3000 rows or our entries, 1523 employees is having a current employee rating as 3 only, and rest like few employees is having 5 ratings as well. So those employee count is 270, 417 is having 4 ratings. So it will show us that most of the employees is having the rating as 3, that is middle level of rating. So if some company wants to analyze this data and if they want to give some output to the HR department that, hey, your most of the employees is having the rating as a medium, so they should increase their rating. So they can give some trainings or whatever, that is not our part. So that will be a HR team will take care of that. So we just have to give this data to them by doing this data analysis. Okay, so let's move towards the next type of our next code of line. So I'm just running this code first to see the visualization. So here, if you see, we did the analysis only for the top 10 job roles by average salary. So we are having approximately about some 20 to 25 types of job roles. So from that, we took only the top 10 job roles which are having average salaries, top average salaries. Okay. So for that, again, we are written down the same type of code. We just have to change the attributes somewhere. For example, job salary, first we in the first code of line, we just because we are performing this analysis on job role, so we have given job role here along with the salary, and we are going to give the average. So that's why here it is, we use the mean attribute. And here if you see top 10 job roles, and we sorted those job roles by salaries in the ascending order. So here you can see only top 10 because we gave it as a head as 10 value. So if you give it as a 15 value, it will show you the count it for the analysis for the 15 job roles. So it is as per your requirements, whatever count you want to show here, or whatever uh, top 10 job roles or top 15, top 20 job roles you want to see, you can just change it here. And accordingly, you have to change the title as well. So if you change here some 15, then it should be like a top 15 job roles by average salary. Rest of the things again same. I already told you in above that we can change the figure size by changing these attributes 15:7. You can type it as a 16:7 and just run this code again. So you'll get this updated bar graph here. Okay. So also if you want to change, for example, this is the new code of line here. So here, if you see, the name of the job roles is given in some dimension, because I gave it as a 45-degree. If someone want to use it as a 90-degree, they can just give it as a 90-degree and again run this code. So it will give the names as per 90 degrees, but it is not showing good. So presentation point of view, we should give properly. So I just use the 45, or if you give just a 0, so it will show horizontally directly. Horizontal is also fine, but it is overlapping with the other job rows. So better to use the 45-degree only. Yeah. So the rest below details are same as above. So here again, title, you have to change it as per your requirement. X is showing the job roles. So we are having IT manager, infra, sales manager. So these are all the top 10 job roles by the salary hikes. So IT manager here, if you do the analysis, it will show IT manager infra is having, so this salary is in dollars. So that's why you can see 707,649. So this is in dollar. So IT manager is having more salaries than sales manager, than BI director or data analysis. So the graph is going down. So let's move towards the next line of code. I'm just going to run this code one first. Okay. So here if you see, we are giving multiple type of data analysis here. So this is the overall data analysis, and this is just this is, for example, this is the parent analysis and this is the child analysis, because we cannot give this all in one. So it will, presentation point of view, it will not show the correct or proper information. It will overlap. So that's why we created two different columns here, and we have written down two different code here. So for the first day, this graph, you can see this is the code, and for the second, this is the one. But the details are going to be same. We just have to change the here whatever analysis we have. So here again, salary, role, gender. So in above, we have given the analysis for the top 10 job roles by using salaries. But under this top 10 job roles, here we are adding more analysis. For example, from that top 10 job roles, how many are males and how many are females. So for that, this first code of line is written down here, job role, and under that job role, we are doing the analysis of gender. So for example, if you see here, these many job roles are there. So, and under the job roles, how many male and female? So that count is also, you can see here. For example, BI director. So BI director is having job role. So here, if you see female and male, female is it is highlighted in the light blue and male highlighted in the light orange color. So if you see under the job role, for example, BI director, it is having this 5 employees and 6 employees. Here, if you see, uh, here job role are remains same on the x-axis, but on the y-axis, here it is showing the sum of salaries for both this male and female. So here, if you see BI director, if you calculate the total sum of salaries for male, for example, six females here. For the 6 females, you are having average total average salary of $727, and for the 5 males, it is having 553. So it is giving the consolidated analysis here. And yeah, same as like count role here, salary, role, gender, and count role. Salary, role, gender is used for the first bar graph, and count role, gender is used for the second one, because here we are showing the count of employees and here we are showing the average salary. So here again, top 10 rows, it can be anything as per your requirements. So I'm giving only for the top 10 rows. So here again, I give top 10 only. Salary, role, gender, top 10 only. So here again, top 10 rows, top 10. And this is, so here you can see additional code of line again, which is not same as above, which we already discussed or I explained you. So here ax dot bar label container fmt equals percent 0 app. So it tells about the matplot how to format the labels that appear on the top bars. So for example, this percent dot tf you can see, or 0 app, sometime it will be a 2 app, means a floating point number with two decimal places. So it is a 0 here, somewhere it was 2 app. So here also it is 0. Let me check it first. Yeah, maybe not here, maybe we use below. Yeah, we see when we are going to see our next code of lines. So as of now, you just for your understanding, just take it as it will show a floating point number with two decimal places, or whatever we are going to give here, it will show like that only. So it is 0 up, so that way it is not showing any decimal here. So if it was 2 0 something like twice f, so twice f means it is giving the this whatever values in the two decimal format. So here we use 0 f, so that's why it is giving complete whole number, that is 796 774. So let's move towards the next code of lines again. I'm going to run this below code. Okay, so here again we are going to perform a data analysis on top 10 job roles by department type. So as per the department, so from our source Excel files, we are having the multiple departments with the job roles. So by using this above code of lines, we can analyze here top 10 job roles by department type. So we are having top 10 department types here. So yeah, you can see, so code is again same. We are just changing the attributes, the size 14.6, whatever as per your requirement you can give, the same for bar, and this title, X label, Y label. So here again top 10 job role by department type. So here you can see the segregation of department type as per its different colors. So for production we gave green color, sales light orange, IT executive office. Similarly, we have given the different. So it is showing like for the production technician a job role. So this many count 1321 employees are there in the production department. So this analysis will go like that. For example, if you are having IT support, so in the IT support job role, so this is IT department, IT or IS department. So under this IT job role for the IT and ITIS department, we are having total 88 employees. It consists of both male and female. So that level of analysis we haven't did here, but we can do that level of analysis also. So from this total 88 employees, how many are male and female? So if you just want to show that analysis, you can give this next level of code, the another one, so that it will give you the two different graphs for analysis. Okay, so let's move towards the next code of line here. Just going to run it. So the similar type of whatever analysis we did here. So as I told you, if someone wants to show how many male and female employees are there, then they have to give this code. So I have added here the additional one. So here it is giving me analysis for the male and female. So if you see here gender male and female, so it is giving me the analysis. So from this, for example, production technician. So here now it is not showing the, for example, to show gender male and female comparison corresponding to each job role. So here we are not showing the department type. So that's a different one. If you want to show here male and female, you have to write one more code of line. You can just copy and paste, change the attributes and then paste here so that it will show the different version, two types of graphs here. So the below data analysis is for to show gender male and female comparison corresponding to each job role. For example, we are having this many job roles not complete. We are showing only the few ones only. For example, head 23. So top 23 job roles we are showing here. Maybe not top 23. All job roles are included here, and we are filtered it by using job role is in top roles. Okay. Again, this data is same, this code is same, and yeah, to show gender male and female comparisons corresponding to each job role. So for example, here if you see production technician, here green color means female and male is representing by the light orange. So under this production technician job role, we are having some around 776 as a female and 545 as male. So that level of data analysis we are performing by using this code in the Python. So let's move towards the next code of lines. I'm just running this. So here again, we are making a different level of data analysis by using our source file. So average work-life balance score by department types. So this code of line shows how many like employees or average. So it is giving us the average. If you see here 3.19, so it is giving us average work-life balance. So this we are denoting like a 1 to 5 scale. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Average work-life balance score by department type. So these are all, maybe we took only the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 departments. So here if you see, we have did the analysis for the work-life balance department under work-life balance towards department type false work-life balance score. Okay, and we are giving here the mean or average value. So again, you can change this X denoting the department type. Here you can see department type production, sales, software. We took only the one, two, maybe a few only for data analysis. Y will be representing work-life balance. U equals to we already saw in our above code of lines that U is using to give the soft colors to our bars. So here you can see very nicely these colors are given here, soft colors for presentation purpose. And this again same as above. Again we use here 4 bars, and here we are showing title, X label, Y label, and rotation we are giving only 0 here. You can customize this as per your requirement, and we are showing the final output. So by looking towards this bar graph, we can see, for example, executive office department is having good work-life balance than all, because it is having higher work-life balance 3.29. And if someone want to analyze, so they can say, hey, production only 2.96 count, it is coming average. So maybe their work-life balance is not good. So that might be so this analysis will be done by HR. So why it was not there? So that's their duty. But as a Python developer, we can just analyze it from the provided data. So this is all about our entire data analysis by Python for the employee dataset. So I'm going to put this entire Python file in my um, in our GitHub, so that you can download this file and you can practice by your own by making some changes as per your requirement. And the source file also I'm going to upload in the same GitHub portal and making it as a public access, so that you can do the practice on this employee dataset. And this is the complete data analysis Python file I'm going to put in the GitHub. So you can use this as a mini project as well to show in your resume, or your yeah, you can showcase while giving you the interview for Python developer that you have completed one intermediate level of project, that you can name it as a exploratory data analysis by using Python language on the employee data set. So that's all. Thank you for watching this complete video. So thank you all.